The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. This novel is a collection of parables that teach the basic laws to grow our wealth and that the secrets to wealth building are unchanging and remain applicable throughout the history. Many of the ancient as well as modern banks, financial institutes, and even many entrepreneurs of modern times had been seen following these lessons to grow their income. If you are wondering why your money tree is not growing, by the end of this novel, you will surely get the answer. Hello and welcome to another new episode of Happy Reading. I'm your host Sandhya Shalish. The Richest Man in Babylon plot summary. One day, Benzir, who was a chariot builder in Babylon, sits thoroughly discouraged. While he is engrossed in his own problems, his friend Kobai comes and asks Benzir to lend him 2 shekels. Shekels was the money used in ancient times, basically silver coins. Benzir, with much disappointment, says that he doesn't have any shekel. His purse is empty. Astonished, Kobai asks the reason for Benzir's sadness. Benzir replies that he had a dream last night that he is too rich, living in a big, luxurious house. His wife is wearing finest jewelries made of gold and diamonds. Her face is shining and she looks as the maiden of their early married days. Kobai says to Benzir that the dream is a pleasant one and asks why he was upset to have such a dream. Benzir replies that the dream was a pleasant one, true, but when he opened his eyes, reality hit him hard and a feeling of rebellion is now sweeping over him. Benzir wonders why, even working hard for day and night, he and his friend Kobai are not wealthy even when they are living in the richest part of the world. Why some people in Babylon are extremely rich and some are too poor. While they were talking, Kobai tells Benzir that he had once seen their mutual friend Arcad. Arcad is now the richest man of Babylon and people treat him with due respect. Benzir then recalls how he, Kobai, and Arcad studied together in the same school and were taught by the same master. Arcad was too from a poor family. They together used to share their meal and now Arcad has turned the richest man of Babylon and Benzir and Kobai are struggling for a one-time meal. Kobai tells Benzir that Arcad has an income that constantly keeps his purse full no matter how liberally he spends. Benzir also wishes an income that would keep flowing into his purse and says that Arcad must be knowing how to make an income. Kobai tells Benzir that Arcad might have taught the same to his son Nomasir, for Nomasir is now the richest man in his city where he lives. A thought suddenly strikes Benzir. His eyes gleams and he says to Kobai, "It costs nothing to ask wise advice from a good friend and Arcad was always like that." They both decide to go to Arcad to know how may they acquire wealth for themselves. Benzir realizes that the reason they have never found any measure to acquire wealth is because they have never sought it. In the things they exerted their endeavors, they succeeded. Benzir had worked hard all his life and succeeded to be a good chariot builder, and so his friend Kobai, who succeeded to be a good lyre player. They should learn more in order to earn more. Benzir and Kobai also asked the other poor friends who wanted to join them. They reach to Arcad. Benzir then asks Arcad about why he is so fortunate to become the richest man of Babylon despite the fact that once they were same, they studied in the same school under the same master, played same games, and in none of these things had Arcad outshined them. Arcad tells them that if they haven't gained anything more than a bare existence in all the years, it is because they either have failed to learn the laws that govern the building of the wealth or else they might have not observed them. Everyone accepts what Arcad said and asks him to explain how he became so prospered with wealth. Arcade begins his story. When he was young, he looked at himself and saw all good things that could bring him happiness and contentment, and realized that wealth increases the proficiency of all his thoughts. Wealth is a power. Realizing the importance and power of wealth, Arcade decided to claim his part of all good things in life. He promised himself not to be contented with the mere existence watching others enjoy. Instead, he would make himself a guest at the banquet of good things. Arcade got an employment as a scribe. A scribe was a person who copied the documents before printing was invented. Arcade worked day and night, but his earnings were too less. One day, a man named Algamish, a moneylender, came to his employer for a copy of the ninth law. He told Arcade that he would be given 2 copper coins if he completed the task in 2 days and left. When Algamish returned, the task was not completed. He got angry. Arcade then told Algamish that he would definitely complete his copy before the sun rises, but Algamish, at the cost of it, should tell him how he became a rich man. Algamish accepts the bargain. All night Arcade worked. His eyes and body ached, but still he worked. By dawn, he completed the task. Algamish was happy to see his copy of ninth law, and as promised gave the secrets to grow money to Arcade. He told Arcade to pay himself first before paying his hard-earned money to anyone else, and asked him to set aside a minimum of 1/10 of his salary or income. It can be as much more as he likes, but should not be less than 1/10. And that 1/10 money will be the child of the wealth that will earn him more wealth. Saying this, Algamish left. Arcade did as told by Algamish. He set aside 1/10 of his salary. To his surprise, he was no shorter of funds than before. He managed to get along with it. After a year, Algamish met him again and asked if Arcade had done what Algamish had advised him. Arcade answered proudly that he had done as told. Algamish then asked him what he had done with that money. Arcade replied that he gave his money to Azmar, a brickmaker who told Arcade that he was traveling far seas and would buy jewels for Arcade when he returns back. Algamish called Arcade a fool and told him that he had lost all his hard-earned money. He explained to Arcade that the person who takes advice about his saving from the one who is inexperienced in such matters will always lose his money. Since Arcade lost all his money, Algamish asked him to start again and left. After 1 year, again Algamish met Arcade and asked the same question he asked 1 year before. This time, Arcade happily said he had saved 1/10 of his salary and bought bronze, which he gave to a shield maker who pays him the rental each 4th month. Again, Algamish asked what Arcade did with the rental. Arcade replied he had a great feast with that. Algamish laughed and told him that he had eaten the children of wealth. How can they now grow to be a money tree? Algamish told Arcade first he should get an army of golden slaves, and then he may enjoy many rich banquets without regret. Algamish went and then returned after 2 years to Arcade. Arcade by then had learned his lessons. He first learned to live upon less than he could earn. He then learned to seek advice from those who were competent through their own life experiences to give that advice. Finally, he learned to make gold work for him. He learned how to acquire money, how to keep it, and how to use it. Algamish then offered Arcade work of looking and taking care of his lands in Nippur and made Arcade his partner. Since Arcade was good enough in money management, he accepted the offer. When Algamish died, he made Arcade his heir. Benzir tells Arcade that he is a fortunate person for he became Algamish's heir. Arcade replied that he was fortunate because he desired to prosper before he met Alchemish. We never call a fisherman lucky who for years studied the habits of the fish that with each changing wind he could cast his nets about them. Therefore, opportunity is a goddess who wastes no time with those who are unprepared. Listening to Arcade, one of the person who came with Benzir says that Arcade has a strong willpower for he lost money twice but again kept on. Arcade tells him that it is not the willpower. He simply completes his task which he assigns for himself no matter what, and therefore he is always careful in choosing that task and never choose difficult or impractical tasks because he loves leisure. One of the men then asks Arcade if what all he said was true and everyone followed him, where is so much money that everyone can become rich? Arcade replies that money always grows where men exerts energy. He then tells them all to follow the wisdom of Alchemish, that a part of what they earn is theirs and they should repeat it until the words stand out like the letters of fire across the sky. As it grows, it will stimulate them and fill their life with a new thrill. More efforts will then come to them to earn more. Everyone leaves taking lessons from Arcade. End of part 1.